Record. Okay, so we're joined with Professor Sam Cartwright-Hatton, and so just want to say thank you so much for arranging to do this interview with me. I just want to start off by just saying that some people on my page may be a little unsure as to whether they have an anxiety disorder or are just a little worried from time to time due to the stresses of life. Are you able to explain what an anxiety disorder is and how it differs from worrying now and then, and how it sort of also inhibits a person's life?
It's a really good question, because we all experience some anxiety at times, some worry at times, some fear at times, or at least the vast majority of us do, 99% of us do. So when does that become more than just a normal human emotion? Well, what we would say, what psychologists would usually say, is when it's starting to interfere with your normal life. So if it's stopping you from doing things, or in the case of a child, if it's stopping your child from doing things they need to do, then you might want to start thinking about, is this too much? Is this a problem? So if it's stopping you from going to work, or it's stopping you from socializing, or it's stopping you getting healthcare, going to the dentist or whatever, if it's stopping your child going to school, then it's probably too much.
Yeah.
The other thing is, maybe it's not stopping you doing any of those things. Some people with anxiety are absolutely fierce about saying it will not stop me from doing these things, but they endure those things with utter misery. And in that situation, I'd say, yeah, that's too much. That is time to go and try and get some support and try and damp this down a little bit.
Okay. Yep. Fantastic. So do you think anxiety disorders are on the increase? If so, why do you think that this is the case?
That is such an interesting question. And I just read a book. I don't know if any of your viewers, your followers have read it. It's called Losing Our Minds, although she's just changed the title of it for some reason. And I can't remember what it's called now. But anyway, if you Googled it, you would find it, I'm sure. It's called Losing Our Minds, and by Lucy Folks. And she's a psychologist. And one of the things she looks at in this book is anxiety really increasing? Are mental health problems really increasing? Or is it just that we are all talking about them much more? We're much more open to these discussions. And she reviews the research on it. And I found it really interesting, because I went into it thinking, well, of course, there's this huge tsunami of mental health problems, and there is this big pandemic of mental health problems, and what's it all about? And what it convinced me of is that actually it's not quite that clear cut. There is one group of people for whom the evidence is quite worrying, and that is young females. Okay. So females in their teens, their 20s, they do seem to be suffering an increase in the risk of mental health problems, particularly anxiety. Other groups, it doesn't seem, there isn't clear evidence that that's really happening. But young females, why is it happening for them? And there are loads of theories around, and I don't think anybody has got the answer. One of the big theories that's around is that it's social media.
Yeah.
But again, the book that I just read really went into the detail with that. And we don't have a lot of research on social media yet, not really high quality, really valid research that you can really trust the results of, because it's all so new, it's coming. But what's there at the moment doesn't look as if it's the main culprit.
Yeah.
From what's there at the moment. I mean, I think we watch this space and we see what's happening. So I don't know.
No, it's okay. I mean, there was an interesting documentary on the BBC iPlayer, with David Baddiel talking about social media and the impact that has on anxiety. He did an experiment where he literally just turned off his mobile phone, all his social media for, I think it was a week, and he found that his anxiety levels decreased significantly. And also he did an experiment where he went into had an MRI scan, and whilst he was looking at his mobile phone and receiving some quite negative feedback and derogatory comments, and there was areas of the brain that were sort of lighting up, so to speak, which is really interesting. So yeah, I think you should have a look at that. I'll have to get the link for you.
It's on my list. I
Yeah.
haven't got round to it yet, but it's on my list. A few people have recommended that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think we just have to watch and see what's going to come through the social media research over the coming years.
So yeah, okay, right. So this is probably just related to this. So are anxiety disorders more common now amongst young people than, say, of their parents' generation? And if so, what do you think contributes to specifically childhood anxiety?
I don't think there's any evidence that childhood anxiety pre-adolescence is increasing. Actually, no, there might be a little bit of evidence. So there was a large study of British children, which took place in about 1999 and then was repeated again a couple of years ago, where they got about, I forget the numbers, but maybe 10,000 British kids, and they selected them really carefully so that they'd be very representative of the population. It's a really good study. And they actually have found a little bit of increase in anxiety in kids of all ages. Although what any study is going to find it difficult to do is to remove the fact that we're all much happier talking about this.
Yes.
So kids are much more happy saying, yeah, I do feel a bit scared sometimes. I am a worry, I am anxious. So, but if we think that that's not the case, then yes, there is some evidence maybe that British kids are a little bit more anxious.
Yeah.
What is that down to? I think it's probably multifactorial. I think it's lots and lots of things. I think it's really unlikely we're going to be able to find one thing and go, we found it. If we solve that, it will all be fine.
Yeah.
So I think there has been a huge increase in children who are living in really difficult, disadvantaged situations, whose families don't have enough money to live on, which is really toxic for children's mental health, for anyone's mental health.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
and that is a real worry. Not knowing if you're going to get fed, if not knowing whether you're going to keep your house and whether you're going to be warm enough is not good. I worry a little bit about the education system. I think the constant testing of children, the constant ranking of children, grading of children is probably not great.
No,
because it's a pressure to feel like you've got to be performing all the time, but also because it detracts from the school experience. It means that children are not having art lessons and cookery lessons and dance lessons, and it's all about rights. Well, we've got SATs coming up, so we're going to have more maths, we're going to have more English, and I think that that's not good.
Yeah, I agree. And also the bullying as well that goes on in schools as well, and the social media aspect as well, which also contributes to it as well. So it can be a pretty toxic environment, can't it, really? So
school can be really, really tough for some kids.
Yeah, absolutely. So what do you think the impact of childhood anxiety is for later stages in life?
There's quite a lot of evidence that if you're a highly anxious child, the chances are you're going to be a highly anxious adult as well. Not always. Some kids do magically just sort of grow out of it, but not many without help. I mean, the good news is if you get help, it can, as a child, it works. It can work if it's done well, and that is protective, and there's a good chance you will be an adult who doesn't experience massive anxiety. You'll still have some, of course you will, we all do, but you will have learned the skills to manage it and not have it overwhelm you. But yes, if you don't get that treatment, the chances are it's going to stick around. It will go up, it will come down. Anxiety is like that, isn't it? We know that it goes up, it goes down.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
So what do you think the warning signs are that a child or an adult may be suffering from an anxiety disorder?
There are so many different anxiety disorders, and they all present in such different ways, and such different ways from person to person, that it would be really difficult to say. But I would go back to my first answer I gave you, which is about if you or your child are finding you can't do things you really need to do or really want to do, then that's a sign that it's gone too far and it's time to try and seek some help. Or if it's affecting your mood. So if you're finding that actually you're just miserable, you're waking up feeling really down because the day is going to be a real struggle for you, you're waking up full of worries about what you're going to have to face, it's gone too far, go and get some help. You shouldn't have to live like that.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, thanks. Um, does having an anxious parent matter, and how are children affected by an anxious parent?
Yeah, so this is my favorite area. So thank
Yeah.
you for asking me this. My pet area. Um, Anxiety disorders do run in families, but I would
Hmm.
not wish anybody to feel alarmed listening to that,
Okay.
because we know that the majority of children who've got an anxious parent will be fine. You know, it's
Hmm.
absolutely not a guarantee that your child's going to be anxious just because you're anxious, but we know it does increase the risk a little bit. And so my group's research is very much focused on why is that, and is there anything
Hmm.
we can do about that. And we're really trying to find solutions that parents can put in place just
Hmm.
to minimize that risk and maximize the chances of their child growing up confident and free from severe anxiety.
Okay. Yeah, brilliant. So what methods would you suggest could reduce anxiety in both children and adults?
Right. So we, at the moment, we've got lots and lots of ideas about what might be important. We're doing some research at the moment to try and pin down which ones it is, because we've got like 50 ideas and we don't know which ones are the most important. At the moment, we've got this intervention which is all done online. So if anyone's interested, they'd be very welcome to come and take part in our research. We'd love that very much. Um, and so the intervention takes place online, and it covers loads and loads of different things that parents can do
Hmm.
to try to increase confidence in their children, try to reduce anxiety in their kids. And then we follow those kids up
Hmm.
um, to see if it's had an impact on their anxiety. And then we're going to try and look and see which ones are important. We've got a few ideas about things that we think are probably important for most families.
Hmm.
And then there's other things that we think are probably important for some people, but irrelevant for other people. And we're trying to pick
Yeah.
that apart. So the big ones, I think, are and everyone who's got an anxiety disorder kind of already knows this, and they're going to hate me saying it, but it's the pushing yourself out of your comfort zone thing. And we think
Yeah.
that's really important for kids as well.
Yeah.
We see families where the parent is perhaps really anxious, but they still push their child out of their comfort zone and they encourage their child to do things that are frightening for them.
Yeah.
Uh, we think that is a really positive thing for parents to be doing, but it's hard. It's
Yeah.
hard if you yourself experience anxiety, you know what it feels like.
Yes.
So tough. Look at
Yeah.
your child and see how hard, how bad they're feeling, and say, do it.
Yes. Yeah.
But we think that's probably quite important.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So, can you tell me a little bit about parenting with anxiety and how anxious parents can get in contact?
Yes, so we have a website which you very kindly said I can put on your Facebook page.
Absolutely, yes.
And I could attempt to give you the address now, but I will get it wrong. Yeah, no, I won't do that. I'll put it on your Facebook page.
Absolutely, yeah.
And it's a website. You go to it and it just tells you about our trial that we're running at the moment. And if you're interested and if you fit the eligibility criteria, which are that you have to be anxious, you don't have to have a diagnosis. We're not fussy about that. You know, there's a lot of people out there who are really anxious, you've never had a diagnosis, that's fine. And you have to have a kid between the ages of 2 and 11. And we don't mind if that child is anxious or not anxious or anything else, it doesn't matter. They just have to be age 2 to 11.
Okay.
And you have to be willing to do the stuff that our research needs, which is fill in a load of questionnaires, and then you get randomized to either doing our online course or not doing our online course. It's 50-50 that you'll get our online course or not. I'm afraid I wish that we could give it to everybody, but we can't at the moment. And if you get the online course, you just do it at home on your sofa, and you're on your phone when it suits you, log in when it suits you, and you do it. And it's sort of 8 modules of about 20 minutes each.
Okay.
And then we'll follow you up and later to see how your child's doing, get you to fill in some more questionnaires for us.
Okay, thank you. And just to finish, how do you think we can end the stigma of mental illness? It's a tough one, isn't it?
It is, but I think there's a load of really good stuff happening at the moment. And I think the work that you're doing really, really helps that. putting it out there. It's allowing
Mm.
forums to people to, you know, to just join and see other people. See,
Yeah.
it's not just you. It's 627,000 other people
Yeah.
who experience the same stuff. It's not you. You're not weird. It's just that's how humans are.
Yeah.
And I think when celebrities talk openly about their vulnerabilities, that's really powerful as well.
Yeah.
So I love it. I love it when a celebrity comes out and goes, I'm really, really anxious. I have this, I
Yeah.
have that, I have the other. I think great, good.
That is good, actually. I tried to get some celebrities to come on here and have an interview with me, but unfortunately I was unsuccessful, which is a shame, really, because there's quite a lot of people, like, for example, Christopher Eccleston. It was, yeah, he sort of mentioned that he was anorexic and also suffered with anxiety and depression and had to go to psychiatric hospital. And there's quite a lot of people. Robin Williams also is a massive ambassador for mental illness, who fortunately has passed away. So, yeah. So just want to say,
keep trying. Keep trying.
Absolutely. I will keep trying. But just want to say thank you so much for your time. And brilliant. I'm going to stop recording now.